Hey everybody, Josh here. So this is my iPhone's home screen, and today I want to show you how I achieved this look, as well as how this home screen layout has actually helped me increase my level of focus and productivity. Let's get into it. So here is the home screen. It's a beautiful one-page setup that actually changes layouts depending on if I'm working or not using focus modes. So if I go into my work focus, you'll see that the layout has changed and it's geared more toward my work-focused apps. Now, implementing focus modes has been such a big productivity boost because before I would have a lot of unrelated apps next to each other, like my social apps and my work apps, which was really distracting. I actually found myself endlessly scrolling on YouTube Shorts or Instagram Reels, and before I knew it, an hour had passed and I'd wasted all that time. So just by using focus modes, it gets these apps out of the way and keeps your home screen distraction free. And to do that, just go into Control Center, tap on Focus and New Focus. And there might already be a work focus. In that case, you would just need to customize it. So just go through the screens and see who you want to allow calls from during your work hours. In my case, I'll do favorites and allow repeated calls. And then you want to see which apps you want to allow notifications for during your work hours. So just go through all the prompts and then you should be done with your focus mode. So that's the first step and it's pretty basic. You might already have something like this set up, but let me take you through the rest of the home screen. Now with this setup, on the left of my home screen is my widgets and on the right is my app library. And when I swipe down, I can search for any app that I need to use. Oh, and for those of you guys interested in what widgets I'm using, this is the default Apple calendar widget. This is the time page widget by Moleskine. This is from an app called Birthday Reminder App and Widget, which just shows you your upcoming friends' birthdays. And then this is stacked with weather and another time page widget. This is Notion, and this is August for unlocking my front door. So honestly, this minimal setup is not really losing that much functionality, and everything I need is pretty much at my fingertips, and my most used apps are right here. So let's get into the tutorial, but for that, we'll need a fresh iPhone. Now the first thing we're gonna do is create this colorful dock effect down here by going to Settings, Accessibility, Display and Text Size, and turn on Reduce Transparency. Then head over to the description and download this wallpaper. Once you have it downloaded, go ahead and set it as your home screen wallpaper and you should have a colorful dock after that. Check that out, looks pretty cool already. Next, what you're gonna wanna do is go into wiggle mode, scroll over to a new page and take a screenshot. Then we're gonna go into the App Store and search for Clear Spaces, and you can either pay $2 to download this plugin, or I found this actually free app called MD Blank, which weirdly enough, you don't get if you search MD Blank, you have to search Clear Spaces, but I downloaded this, opened it up, and then under light and dark, just replace these images with the screenshot that you just took. Like so, and then go home, press and hold again, press the plus button, scroll down to this blank widget, and then add the largest size and drag it over to a new page. Then you're gonna wanna repeat that process to create another blank page. Now what we can do is hide that first page, and what we're left with is 2 blank pages. Next up comes the custom icons, which does take the longest time, but is arguably the most rewarding part of this whole process. But before we do that, we sort of have to carefully plan out where each app is gonna go since we're slimming down our app library by a lot. Because if you remember on my home screen, I only had 8 apps for my work focus and 12 for my other ones. So yeah, it's a lot less apps than you're probably used to. So first, I would probably just write down all of the apps that I use a lot. Now, once you're happy with your list, you're gonna wanna go in and categorize these apps into 3 buckets. So the first bucket would be work apps, and then the second bucket would be casual, and the third bucket would be neutral. Sort of apps that you would use in either work or casual mode. So I'm actually gonna go in and circle all of my work apps. So there's YouTube Studio, there's Spark, which is my email client. And then what I'll do is grab a highlighter and just highlight all of my casual apps, for example. So that would be Instagram, YouTube, Amazon, and yeah, I'd probably say that All of these other apps are just my neutral apps. So these are the apps that I would probably consider adding to my dock, for example, because I would need them regardless of either if I'm working or if I'm lounging around. And then with whatever is left over, I'll make sure to have duplicates of those apps on each of those home screen setups. So hopefully that made sense, and you'll be referencing this list as you put in your custom icons. Okay, so now comes the fun part, which is creating the custom icons. So go ahead and head over to the second link in my description and download that free icon pack. Then just airdrop the ones that you need to your phone, and you should have a bunch of icons, which I've put into an album called Icons. And then you'll just want to go into your Shortcuts app, create a new shortcut. For this demonstration, we'll name this one Safari to open Safari. So hit Open App, hit App, and then search for Safari. And then just hit this blue icon up here, hit Add to Home Screen, hit this X to get rid of that name, and choose the icon for Safari. So I'm just gonna head over to my icons, and there it is. Hit Choose, and hit Add. Now what that's gonna do is generate an icon down here for Safari, and yeah, I'd say it looks pretty good. Now at this point, you can just keep doing this until you filled up your home screen and sort of designed it how you want it. And just remember, if you can't fit everything on one page, there is the option to create a folder. And just to show you what that folder could look like, I'll just make another app over here. So Notes. And let's say I put it into a folder. You can see that having this name on here, even if you get rid of the X, it still comes back. And even if you put a space bar, it doesn't really work. So there is a way to get rid of the name right here. And what you want to do is copy this invisible character that I found on this website, which I'll also have in the description. And when you go to rename your folder, just paste that character in the folder name, and you should have a invisible folder name, which I think looks pretty cool. So yeah, that's just a quick tip for you, but I'll come back once I have my entire home screen laid out. All right, so we're back, and with the magic of editing, our entire home screen is populated, and we have two home screens. So this one is my personal setup, and this one is my work setup. Now you might have tried to open an app during the setup process to be greeted with this annoying banner that happens every time you open one of these custom apps up. And to fix that, it's actually a pretty simple process. So just go back into Shortcuts, hop over to the Automation tab, hit this plus icon, and create a personal automation. Then scroll down to App and choose all of the apps that you've made a custom icon for. Once you've done that, hit Next and just search for Calculator. And then hit Number, leave everything as is, and hit Next again. Then all you need to do is disable this toggle and say Don't Ask, hit Done, and you should be all set. So now when you open any of these apps up, you're not gonna have that annoying banner. The other thing you might have noticed is that these dock icons have a black background instead of matching the green in the dock. Now, unfortunately, the free icon pack that I linked to only includes the black background for free. And if you wanna get access to those PNGs, you'll have to pay a little bit, and then you'll actually need to bring it into Photoshop and match the background to your dock. Now that is pretty much what I did. And so these icons are what I made in Photoshop, and I just think it creates a more, I guess, clean look. So yeah, this is what it looks like with those icons. Again, you will need some Photoshop knowledge to match those colors, but I think it's worth it if you do know how to do that. Now, the last step in all of this is to assign one of these home screens to your work focus mode, like I said in the beginning. So head over to your focus modes, hit home screen, and check this custom pages toggle. And then just choose the home screen that you want to show up for that focus mode. And the last thing to do is to go into wiggle mode again and disable the work home screen. And that pretty much leaves us with this one page. And if we go into our work focus mode, it'll switch to the other page. I mean, this setup just looks so beautiful, and it really has dramatically increased my productivity and focus just by separating out those apps. And maybe you're watching this, but you don't really feel too inspired to do it right now. Just save this video for later, or make a mental note to come back, because all of this really takes less than an hour to set up. And if you have that time, it's really worth it, because that effort will really pay off. So that's been it for my iPhone home screen setup tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And if you did, make sure to like the video and consider subscribing if you like tech content. Also, this is my Instagram at Joshua Chang, where I post behind the scenes content and any extra videos or reels that I make. It's currently at under 1,000 followers, which is kind of a joke compared to the amount of subscribers on this channel. So it'd mean a lot to me if you would head over and consider following it as well. Now, the last announcement I have for this channel is memberships. So if you've been following the channel for a while, maybe you've been liking, commenting, and subscribing, and you want to support the channel further, you can do so by hitting that join button down below. Now, I'm still kind of working out what that membership will look like in terms of perks, but just know that I'll be paying extra attention to your comments and trying to respond to them as fast as possible. If you guys have any suggestions as far as what kinds of perks I should think about offering with this membership, let me know in the comments down below. But that's about it for this video. Thank you guys for making it to the end, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.